Okay, I got Elizabeth there.
I can help out. He's good.
Okay, we're gonna start tonight's meeting.
You say one thing, yes.
Sir, you have your attention here? I would like to welcome everybody to the 10th Waynesburg Planning Board for our April 10th meeting. Well, it doesn't seem like, or not April 10th, April 18th. First mistake I made, I'm guessing. But if you all found your way here, you're lucky because the new road system kind of screw with the version on the highway. But my name is Jeff Schmidt. I'm the chairperson of the Town of Waynesburg Planning Board. We have two members who are absent tonight, Matt Hoffman, who's been taken ill suddenly. I think hopefully something serious. And Mike Harris, he's on a business trip to Boise, Idaho. So probably enjoying himself more than we are tonight. So we're here with four members, which represents a quorum. Anything that we vote on tonight would have to be a unanimous vote. So I'm not sure we'll vote on anything. But basically, I'd like to introduce the members of the board. We always do so.
Good evening, Elizabeth Novak, planning board member.
Josh Houghton, planning board member. Mike Walpole, planning board member.
Teresa Baker, counsel to the board.
Okay,
And Chris Parcel, town planner, code enforcement officer.
good. Okay, our usual person who's on maternity leave, Corinne, should be back, I think, for our next meeting.
Can't get back fast enough.
Yeah, I'm sure she's sitting there waiting for that. She's not on maternity leave, so. All right, we have copies of the agenda that are on the entryway to the door. The meeting is relatively brief tonight. I hope we don't have any public hearings. First part of our meeting is the open forum. It's an opportunity for anybody in the audience, and unfortunately, the people that are on Zoom can't participate, but anybody in the audience has any comments that may be of interest to the board members, or even if it's of interest to yourself, you can feel free to express them. We ask that you identify yourself by your name and location within the town or county or state, and limit any kind of presentation to about 4 minutes. We're not restricted about it. And anything that's on tonight's agenda is not an item for the open forum. So with those kind of basic rules, I'll make a motion to open the open forum for the Town of Waynesburg Planning Board, April 18th, 2024 meeting.
I'll second.
Chairman Schmidt,
Yes.
board member Novak,
Yes.
board member Houghton,
Yes.
board member Walpole.
Yes.
Who's first? No one, right? Okay, I don't see a lot of hands going up or interest, so I'll make a motion to close the open forum for the Town of Waynesburg, April 18th planning board meeting.
I'll second.
Chairman Schmidt,
Yes.
board member Novak,
Yes.
board member Houghton,
Yes.
board member Walpole.
Yes.
Okay. Following the agenda, typically we have a sketch plan review. There are no items for that. Then we have public hearings. We have no public hearings scheduled for this evening. And then we move to old business. So the first thing on old business is Edward Putnam. Seeks a major subdivision of 1 lot into 5 smaller lots up on 4136 Western Turnpike. So is the Ed Putnam here?
I'm Roger.
Oh, Roger, okay, all right, so where are we on your project here?
I would sort of get a stamp of approval tonight. We got everything in place. We got everything you need.
Did we get the SHPO letter? That's what we were waiting for last.
You've had your SHPO letter.
We had the public hearing.
We had the public hearing. All you need to do is do the short form EAF because it's an unlisted action and make the decision on the plan on the subdivision. You can do preliminary and final together if you want to.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think we do have a fine implemented clearing.
Yeah.
We have, and we may have it, the DOT county approvals for driveways, if not.
Yeah.
We do have.
I was gonna say, we could probably approve it contingent on that.
address.
We got that all done.
All right.
You guys sure you want to go forward with this now?
Absolutely. Not again, Cody. Let's get rolling.
Okay.
We need a new plow truck. Come on.
Elizabeth will read our seeker statement and we'll move on with this.
So I will make a motion for preliminary and final seeker determination on approval from the board. The town of Dwaynesburg determined this is actually type 1 action under seeker because of the historic resource that was present. So I will read our full environmental assessment form, part 3, evaluation of the magnitude and importance of project impacts and determination of significance. The town of Dwaynesburg Planning Board has reviewed the Putnam subdivision, a major 5-lot subdivision project located at 4136 Western Turnpike. The project has been reviewed and evaluated for environmental impacts in accordance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act, including submission of part 1 of the full environmental assessment form and part 2 and 3 of the FEAF form. On part 2, identification of potential project impacts, none have been identified as moderate or large. The proposed project is overall consistent with the town comprehensive plan, the town zoning ordinance, and complies with the town subdivision ordinance. Any proposed construction shall require temporary soil erosion control measures to be installed and maintained throughout construction. During construction, impacts on land appear to be minimal. There are federally regulated wetlands identified on the parcels as well as a seasonal stream. The stream and all wetlands shall be avoided to the maximum extent practicable, and any impacts would be within the limits set forth in the United States Army Corps of Engineers and the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Program for these resources. Sediment control practices shall be employed during and post-construction to help mitigate any impacts to these surface waters. The northern long-eared bat may be present in the area. Any tree cutting will be restricted to April 1st to October 31st to avoid potential impacts to the species. The action will have no impact on agricultural resources.
Elizabeth, I think you have that.
It's tree cutting will be avoided during that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right, great. I didn't
Yes,
know
sometimes we phrase it differently.
that. Wait a second.
Thank you. The action will have no impacts to agricultural resources, and the State Historic Preservation Office has reviewed the project and determined there is no impact from the project to historic or archaeological resources. For these reasons, it is anticipated the project will have no significant adverse environmental impacts in accordance with Article 8, Environmental Conservation Law, and the Town of Dwaynesburg Planning Board issued a negative declaration for the Putnam subdivision. So I will make that motion for the secret negative declaration on behalf of the town of Dwaynesburg.
And we second that.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Howland,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt. Yes. Board Member Walpole.
Yes.
Right, so if you're gonna grant preliminary and final tonight, you should just indicate that you're, waiving the requirement to do it in 2.
Okay, so I will make the motion that we're waiving the requirement for a preliminary and final secret determination, and this will
Subdivision.
subdivision. And I'll make the motion to approve the subdivision for the Putnam proposal.
I'll second.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt.
Yes.
Board Member Howland.
Yes.
Good to go.
Good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you, board members. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Rest of the meeting now. You know, you're right.
No, I got to leave. Have a good night.
You're running fast.
Thank you.
I feel ready.
Okay. Well, the next item on, full business is the Thomas Samuelson application to convert a residential building, which was formerly a two-family dwelling years ago, I guess, and, to get a special use permit to convert it officially to a two-family dwelling under section 90.48 of the town zoning law. We've had some discussions on this, or probably a lot of discussions, and there are some issues that the board has raised that we'd like attended to. I was with the code enforcement officer at a site visit about 2 weeks ago, I think. We looked at some of the things, had some concerns. I think some of them have been addressed, and I think the rest of the board hasn't seen those. I think we need to go over what's been done. You know, if we have concerns that remain, we need to deal with those. Okay, so, Mr. Samuel's not here, yeah. Okay, so Nick, you know, if you can address the board as to where you are and what you intend to do. I know we're gonna make some adjustments to the plans. You were actually operating on the west side of the building, put a slip in. We talked about possibly going down Route 20 with a curb cut. I don't know where that ever ended up, but you know, we had, I think the board members had concerns about egress and egress of cars that are parked in some of the spots that if they were stacked, you know, end to end, how would the person get out if the first car was, you know, unavailable? So, and how that's gonna be actually, once the building is sold, which I think is your intention itself, is that the new owner knows exactly what these concerns are, because once we discuss them with you, the new owner, we have to really articulate those in writing in the permit to make sure that whoever buys this building knows exactly what we've discussed over the last several meetings. Because a lot of times they come in and say, hey, I didn't know anything about this. So it's very important that we get this ironed out, you know, every lowercase j dotted on the permit. So maybe just let's go through this and I know some of the members of the board had some concerns they'd like to express.
Okay, well, this doesn't look like the drawing because I had marked this up with the additional parking area over here.
Yeah, we have a copy of the.
Oh, yeah, okay. And of course, there's actually enough room for 4 cars to park here and 2 to park here.
I got it.
You know, it's really mandatory to have 4 cars parking. Now, I brought Joe, my friend here, he has built the retaining wall, and there were questions about that. On here, I can see the height, width, and length, and he has all that information. That's curious.
Yes.
About the retaining wall. I think you have copies of the.
Yeah, we got all the details, we have the versatile lock.
Yeah.
All right, so but you guys have already constructed it. It's already built.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess the first issue is you guys went ahead and built something before it's been reviewed by the board.
We decided we needed a retaining wall.
You talk about doing retaining wall, we talk about getting the details and a plan for how to do the retaining wall. Make sure that it can be built there, building a retaining wall.
As far as I was told.
So once again, so your cart is out in front of the horse, you know. There's you guys proceeding with work before things are approved.
Okay, well. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. I mean, I thought the plan was that we needed to put a retaining wall in. And
You talk about that as a way to deal with and get more parking. You did talk about that as a method. So the idea is that you have a plan, you come present the plan, you get the approval, and then you go construct the project, not go construct the project, come back to us and say, here's now our plan for us to review and approve.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I see the difference.
it's like building the whole house and then coming and saying, Chris, here's the plans for, you know, I want a building permit. It's kind of a little backwards.
Well, I corrected that with a fence because you should have a drawing showing where the fence is here that I haven't built yet because I was cautioned on building that until you approve that fence. It's going to be the same kind of fence that you have here on the town.
Yeah,
Same
split rail.
Split rail, the same stuff. You get it at Cobblestone Agway, and I already went down and checked it out, but I didn't get anything yet because I was waiting for the approval to do that.
So I think one of the things that, you know, I think the fence in the front, if that's gonna basically limit the parking so there's no parking in the right of way. I think the section to carry on the top of your retaining wall essentially to the edge of the right of way would be appropriate also. So that would prevent turning and parking into the town, you know, parking spot. Essentially right here.
Oh, on this,
Yes. Yep. So on your eastern boundary where your retaining wall ends.
Yeah.
You know, up here to carry a section of fence up to where the edge of the right of way is, similar to how you're, you know.
Oh, put a fence here. for the
Yep,
right of
'cause
way.
that's the concern too, is that it's. You're gonna end up utilizing the town parking or the town land for parking, turning and whatnot. So I think a section of fence that's forwarded up to the right of way, similar to how you're doing that in the front of the building, I think that would eliminate my concern for how, you know, the potential for that area to be used.
Okay. That should be easy enough, to just be one section.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
a short section, it wouldn't need any full section.
yeah. Cause I don't know how far, I mean, the plan shows the retaining wall coming pretty far forward, but some of the photos, it seems like it bottoms out to grade a little bit further back, so. As long as we carry a section of fence up.
They come to the,
I'm not sure how far you.
they come to the front of the porch, leave that, so I think it's.
Alright, so it probably would only be one section then or less. than
Yeah,
one
it's
section.
Yeah, this is
almost
only,
a porch.
6 or 8 feet, 6 or 7 feet, and the section's 11 feet.
Yeah.
What Philistine has. Or we could put 2 posts there, one here, one there, and then have the rest.
Yeah, and then that'll also protect your property from anybody at the town, you know, parking, blocking part of your driveway. Cause there's not a lot of space there, so.
And then this fence there drawn is okay to build that then?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I think the issue was making sure nobody parked in front of the building in the road right away.
Yeah, I put a no parking sign on the fence.
Yeah.
And I do have apartment 2 sign here and apartment 3 here.
What's the intent to stabilize the downhill slope on the west side of the building parking?
West.
So that without, yeah, on the apartment 1, where you call apartment 1 parking,
Like here.
yes.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's stabilized. It kind of.
and
follows
on the east side, you have the retaining wall.
Yeah.
On the west side, does it not have a similar drop?
It's following the grade,
Yes.
Okay.
It's not part of the draw.
and, I made a nice gradual grade going down the side. Stayed off of, neighboring property, but I couldn't, and I mean, you could, depends on what happens, I didn't keep going all the way down to Route 20 because I wasn't sure what was going on, so it goes back 40 feet from the right of way, there's 40 feet going back.
Okay, so there's no intent to bring that more level, it's just.
No, yeah, it's just following the grade, yeah.
So there is no,
Because
there's no drop.
if it was to go to Route 20 and then you built it all up, then you would have to dig it all out again, so you might as well just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, make a nice gradual grade going right.
I just
through it.
wanted to make sure if it was being brought up to more level, that there wasn't a
Right,
drop.
no, yeah, if it was, you would have to probably do something similar.
Yeah.
To the other side.
But on the other side, it does drop off.
Yeah, and I think, I saw.
Yeah, I got curb stops there for the cars to park behind the wall, so they'll be able to hit that and stop plenty of feet of before they get to the edge.
Chris, does that need, based on the height, does that need a railing or anything, or no?
For a retaining wall, I don't.
I have no idea if it's.
Yeah, I have to look.
Should be abandoned, so.
They don't normally, I mean, for retaining walls, you know.
Well, look, so somebody could fall off the edge or somebody could drive off the edge. That's
Yeah.
my concern.
Yeah.
And I understand about the wheel stops, but that's like what you use in parking lots. It's not really, like a safety measure. Could you put like a railing there or a guardrail
Curtain
or
barrier or something.
something?
Or even bring the retaining wall above grade,
Yeah, or
like
bring
a couple, I don't know what the.
It's not all the way, there is a lip too, so your car's gonna hit the lip too before it goes over the edge.
Yeah. You
And
must not have teenagers.
I do. And
What about stanchions?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Extension books?
Yeah.
Like they haven't.
yeah, like the concrete.
Yeah,
If-
right.
If that's gonna be acceptable, then I have something I can do.
That would be better. I do think that.
Yeah. Yeah, bollard.
Especially if you got a lot of snow and ice, you know, now you never know where the snowbank is at the end, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I think it's here, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, because there's no visual, I mean, you're just kind of looking off into, yeah. I mean, that does seem to address the concerns I had with the parking, especially with the addition of the stuff on the west. I don't know what the question was with the well, I don't know, Jeff, if you had any,
Well, I went on there's something that we have to look into, but, let me go back to the parking one more time. We have a notice from DOT that they didn't want any activity to be backing into the right of way or to Route 7. Now, I'm not sure you can accomplish that with the way you've got this design. It's almost impossible, isn't it, not to back onto Route 7? I mean, your drawing actually shows it encroaching on Route 7, so
Well,
DOT is we're gonna ask DOT to review this again to make sure that they're happy with it. But
doesn't it
if
actually
we
go
put
under,
this to the letter of the law,
goes past the right of way, but it's still way off the white line. The white line is down here somewhere, probably the edge of the road. This is just the right of way. This is,
can you show, why don't you show that on
this is 33 feet here. Right where the well goes there, it's 33 feet
from the center line.
from the center.
On the center,
we
yeah,
have-
right there.
Copy of your
DOT's letter.
I haven't seen that.
I don't remember. I thought there was something original earlier on.
Let's see if we can find, I wanna make sure that we address DOT's concerns to the letter, and,
Did we reach out to DOT on this one?
the county actually said,
Oh, it was
the
a
county said the
Yeah.
parking area should be designed so that cars do not need to back into the highway to exit. That's the county concern.
I think they're talking though about the travel lane there, don't you? As opposed to the right of way.
Right, that would make sense.
As long as just wanna make sure that we get DOT's comments. In the letter.
We did a general municipal law referral on this one too.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the other concern that we had that when I was there in the field is that on the west side is that, if you got two cars end to end, one of them's trapped there. In the event that there's a catastrophe going on or a fire or something like that, and the first car on the southernmost is not available, and he went with his buddy fishing. And then, I worry about egress. How do you get these cars out of there when they're really wedged into the side of that building? And that's why we suggested that you look into the possibility of just continuing down that, it wasn't a bad slope to Route 20 and making a curb cut on 20. And that would really be a lot safer situation, I think. And, it also may help us with, I think another situation that come up is that the well covering is something that I have to look into a little bit more. But
Yeah,
I know we talked about looking into that curb cut on 20. It seemed like it was easy to construct. I mean, it was just laying some gravel down and getting a pipe in there. So it just cost you some money. But,
yeah, quite a bit of that.
well, I think that there was a number thrown out at the meeting that didn't seem excessive, but. But again, what I worry about is whatever we say to you, once you sell the house, it's, we got a whole new cast of characters gonna come in here. And they're gonna do what they want to do, and it's gonna be a problem, you can promise
They're
them
gonna
everything.
inherit something, they're gonna inherit something that they didn't know. It
Exactly,
wasn't fully disclosed to them when they made the purchase.
yeah, I mean, we gotta have this stuff ironed out to a T so that the board can say with a straight face, we did this, and we knew you were gonna sell it, so we know you're not gonna be here and be responsible for it. But, I mean, who's who's to prevent the new owner from tearing down the fence in the front? You know, I hit it with my car and never repairing it. Those kind of things are kind of,
Well, just to provide some comfort, the special use permit travels with the land.
yeah,
So if, you know, we can make it a condition that, you know, that they record it.
yeah,
That's one thing we could try.
yeah.
Because it's so important at this location, you know, as part of the, you know, not really as part of the deed, but at least associated with the property.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
one thing
yeah,
we could
yeah.
do.
So that's what you worry about. Say they put a fence up. Guy comes in with a snowplow, knocks the fence down. Now he's got tons of parking. He's sort of fence. They can-
Well, and it is up to DOT also to, you know, police that, but.
Yeah,
So you want the special use permit recorded against property,
yeah.
all right?
Travels with the property, yeah.
Well, it always
Oh, it
does,
does, yeah.
but this will give
So record it.
notice. And then you wanted stanchions at the back of the parking on the what, on the east coast? Okay,
The addition of, fence to the edge of the right of way.
okay, addition of the split rail fence.
Eastern, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I
On
think
the eastern
on the
side.
plan, they should delineate where the white stripe on the road is so that we address the county's concern that somebody's backing on Route 7. It's possible to make that, you know, that turn on there.
I mean, you can see it a little bit, it's right
Yeah,
here.
I think you can see it right here.
Yeah, but just, you know, your bright lines for the sake of having it there so that we know. It's the limit of where it says the turning radius.
Yeah, Lance, we need turning radius and you're well within them.
Yeah, yeah. But that, again, that needs to be memorialized on the plan to have everything that we need. And again, the egress from that other unit is still kind of troublesome, right?
Well, with it being separated now by unit 1 and unit 2. I mean, I see your point,
And
but then at least it's not unit 2 vehicles trapping unit 1 vehicles that it could have potentially been if it was all on the east side. At least now, there's some onus on they're in the same dwelling. Same unit, yeah.
can you specify in the permit the maximum number of vehicles that could be parked there? I mean, I just see this thing, you know, you get a bunch of young kids there, they could have
It's,
13 cars there, they'd get them in there somehow.
well, we can say maintain signs directing parking as between unit 1 and unit 2.
Yeah.
And parking limited to no more than three vehicles.
Free on that side.
So 2 per unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're required 2.
Oh, is there room for 2 on the one side? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
To no more
Or
than 4 vehicles, sorry. I'm just trying to write them down, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay. And then I put in here a sign off from DOT as a condition.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Okay, the other issue that I came across based on something I ran into on my own life here is the covering of the well. And I know there's some mixed opinions on that. And I'd like to get a reading from either DOH or somebody, but typically a well casing under the DOH reg, I can actually read it to you here, I have them on my phone. It says it's section 5-B.3, water well construction. And it talks about the casing being like 12 inches above the finished grade. Now, I know you cut it down and you buried it, which is, I just ran into this myself, and the guy told me, you can't do that. That's in another township, but you know, typically these wells are designed so that you can't get any runoff into them. You know, the way you gotta construct it now, it's almost like it's a catch basin kind of.
Well, there's a drain coming out of it.
Yeah,
There's number 2 stone with the drain the whole way.
yeah, but
I had talked to the Department of Health in Schenectady County a number of years ago. I didn't get anything in writing, but
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. That you can drop it down as long as you have a foot or two or something, I forget the exact number.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Above the grade and we have a drain out.
Yeah, I just,
Okay with that.
I think I feel it's the board's, obligation to clarify this in writing from either DOH or someone, because there's, like I say, there's mixed opinions on whether that
Well,
even allowed.
let's just make it a condition like with DOT, a sign off from.
A sign off that that well
County DOH.
construction, yeah, but if it's not, what the problem is, Teresa, that well casing comes right up in the driveway,
So I guess,
you know.
Well, it's a condition of approval.
Right,
So they don't get the special use permit if.
Contingent on.
Unless you get a letter from the Department of Health that says covering that well up in the manhole is acceptable.
so the other thing you gotta worry about, Jeff, too, is that just, that's a precast concrete cover, it's a precast structure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's setting up on blocks underneath.
With the low bed.
So is it traffic rated?
Uh,
You don't know. So
but you have trouble driving over that because you almost have to straddle it to get in.
Yeah, but
It doesn't matter if you're backing out or whatever, if it's in the right, if it's in the path of where you'd be driving a vehicle. It needs to be,
yeah, it's like, you know, your septic tank cover, like you can't just drive on top of it.
I drive on mine all the time.
But it's not rate straight, I mean, you get a delivery of propane or, you know, garbage truck or a pickup truck, you know, like. Unless it's rated for it, you go right through the top of it.
Yeah, they'll weather it pretty good, and there's not a lot of reinforcement caps.
Yeah.
Broken.
yeah, because the intention is that, are you covering over top of that with stone, like see it, so you can't even visually see it?
Well, you can almost see it.
Or is it gonna be like where you have a structure like we have like a steel traffic rated like manhole covers that?
There's a picture of it, Mike, we got a picture of
Yeah,
it.
it's-
Yeah, but it's not as if I backfilled or, I mean, it's, I don't know, how
It's still, it's backfill now, so it's.
Somewhat, you know, but it's only a couple of years, and you still pretty it's over it.
Yes, these are.
I think that's something we'll get straighten out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Impacted. Gravel shop.
well, then you also, when you bury something, then try to find it later on, you know, somebody knows exactly where it is, you know, have an as-built of.
Where
good
it's
luck
on
with
the
that.
You know what I mean?
That's, Mike's got a legitimate concern about, you know, the traffic load on that thing. I don't think those caps you maybe withstand any vehicle traffic. I mean, you have septic tank, I would ever drive my tractor over it. You know, so.
The tank really event.
All reinforced concrete.
Yeah, well, that's the concern, you know, so we drive over it, how they drive over it, with the wheel stuck in there, you know, it's.
Can't imagine this caving in, it's just right on solid stone and rocks.
The structure itself, I would say the precast cap on, you know.
It was like a steel manhole cap.
Cap
You know,
itself is 4 or 5 inches thick.
Yeah.
It's about that thick of concrete. And it's got a groove and it sits down in that concrete tub, which is about 2 to 3 inches thick too. You know, it's a pretty heavy piece of concrete.
Oh, I know.
And I mean, there's been several trucks that have already drove over it. And there hasn't been an issue, you know what I mean? So I'm just letting you guys know that.
Yeah.
It is a very thick cap on it, so I mean, as far as breaking, I don't see that happening.
But it's, yeah, you're going based off of your opinions, it's on,
I'm
it's
just,
on, it's on.
I'm just telling you, you know, how thick the cap is and whatnot.
I'm sure, I mean, wherever you purchased it, you know, you could see if they have what it was rated for.
So just to be clear, I think what the board is asking you to do is come back with a sign off from DOT on the plan, okay? New York State DOT. And New York State, or excuse me, Scansy County DOH on capping the well like you've done, if it's okay. And then if you could find out whether the concrete cover is rated for vehicles to drive over it.
That's and that's something that you can get in writing with, you know, and these things are designed, I don't think that those cast and plate things aren't very strong. I mean, they look strong, but
Right,
you know,
those,
10 years of weathering and salt and
Well, I mean, we deal with different,
you do that.
yeah, so I mean, if we have structures that are out in a drive area, they have to be. You know, the covers on them have to be traffic ready.
Yeah,
right, and I think no matter what, you wanna see the stanchions or bollards at the back of the parking to the east. And the addition of the split rail fence on the eastern side.
Yeah.
And the showing the white stripe on the road on the plan.
yeah. The memorial is just in some sort of legal instrument that travels with the deed or something because.
Yeah, for
Once they
the,
get the tension, then, oh,
Well, I don't think you're ready to approve it
No,
tonight,
no, no.
you want those things before you move forward. I just wanna make sure that Mr. Samuelson has a list.
Yes,
Okay.
I keep adding so much stuff when I come to. But, okay, with the DOT, okay with parking, DOH, Department of Health, with, okay with well. And show white stripe, and what else was, it?
Traffic rating on them.
Oh, the,
Cover, well covered.
Well covered.
Yeah.
well cover.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be. You have a traffic rating cover on there, I mean, it's basically like a sewer cover
Yeah.
or something, but also I would leave, I mean, my recommendation would be to leave that cover exposed.
Yeah.
So that way you know exactly, like, if somebody's gotta come service the well,
Right, like.
you know, or whatever, they do not try to dig up. Figure out where that well is located.
I can say from experience, you don't wanna do that.
So I would have it, yeah, have a cover, well, okay, pop the cover, we know exactly where it is. It's supposed to, yeah, covered stone, then somebody's out there trying to probe for the, you know,
in
I
the middle
I
of
put dimensions on a previous map of where the well is as far
Yeah.
as how far out. Also, the sewer clean out.
Yeah.
I put dimensions on
I've seen where things get, the as-built drawings, and you go back and find that pipe later on, and it's 40 feet in a different location.
It's not covered very far, so we could.
Yeah, I don't-
We could brush that off.
Well, and we'll attach the plan to the special use permit that you'll file with the, with the county clerk.
Okay, is there something else? DOT, DOH. So what, try, well cover rating.
show the additional section of fence on the eastern boundary. Again, you don't, I wouldn't do any of this until you get the approval.
You mean,
Oh, so don't even put the fence up.
No.
No, so this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, is that all of this stuff, none of this would have necessarily cost you anything yet if, as we're working through all these conditions until you get the permit. Then it's, you have, the approval, work with Chris to do all this stuff. These tweaks are all things that kind of happen during the process that now, you've kind of already constructed stuff and have to go back and add. That's kind of the point on getting the approval before you put any money out for, actually building.
But I do have one more question regarding the retaining wall. So it's an unsupported or unreinforced retaining system, so there's no tie back with any kind of grid or anything.
Yeah, there's grading.
You guys think tie back in there?
They have grading.
The section detail shows drainage piping coming out,
Yep.
is there?
Yep, there's drainage.
Okay, so it just comes out the end of the wall there,
It comes out the front of the wall there.
on the east side or on the back side going towards the water.
North side.
I couldn't tell by the picture.
It's going out towards 20, yeah.
Okay,
It's dead center. Pipe catching his gutter water that comes out, and I got a perforated pipe that ties in. They all come out that, the whole back of that wall has green in it and is filled with.
Oh,
reduced
all right,
iron.
thanks for the picture.
Yeah, it was 20s.
So this pipe picks up the gutter,
Pipe picks up the gutter.
and then it keeps going along the retaining wall to pick up
Yep,
the drainage on there, okay.
there's a perforated pipe that comes into the back of that.
Oh, I see it, okay.
Yep.
Okay, it's hard to this photo.
Yep, and like you said, that whole back of that wall is filled with number 2 stone, that way all the
Yeah.
water can just boom,
Yeah.
go right out.
Yeah, you did a good job on that. I actually, I went over there and looked at that, that's.
Yeah, that should, I mean, especially if it's not That's when he's
It's a
failed,
reinforced system, there's
Yeah.
pins in that whole wall.
yeah,
And they step back gradually, which makes it structural, you know what I'm saying? One's sitting back on the other one, the next one's sitting back.
Yeah.
So.
but a lot of times those walls do fail because if they're not installed properly, with not without the
Yep.
drainage or without
Yeah.
the geogrid that ties back, you know.
Geogrid, I mean, really for, that size wall, you don't even have to put it in there.
No, but if, it depends on the main, it depends on the system,
Right.
if they require
It
it.
does depend on the system, but like with a Versalock system, until it's at 4 feet,
Yes,
it doesn't require any grid, but I just went above and beyond and put it in there,
no, because
especially to hold the soil.
that's what, that was our biggest concern about it, that's why we talked about it the last
Yep.
meeting was having those details for it, because I've seen them fail.
No, I.
And then what happens,
yeah,
is you get that
yeah.
frost behind there, and then that wall
Yep.
peels back, and that being that you guys are boarding right up to the town property, means,
On your vehicles.
yeah, but you have, yeah, it's not just, pulling back or it's folding.
That's just landscaping.
Yeah, you got load that's up there, yeah.
One other thing that we talked about was the site distance looking to the west on the number 2 units driveway. There's a huge mound of soil that was left from prior construction that's in the DOT right away that really, it's pretty dangerous, I think. You can't see when you're back out of there, and I think that's something that you need maybe someone that's a traffic expert to comment on. Because I think it's a dangerous situation. I stood there, I know they're gonna move the pole. You can't see around that mounded dirt. And that's.
Well,
it's
can
on-
they remove the soil?
Is
It's on the right of, yeah.
It's on their property,
It's not on his
It's not
property.
on his
Yeah.
property, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to remove that.
But it's on the right of way of
It's not on
DOT,
the-
and, you know, I know it. I
Well,
think
maybe you can ask them for permission to remove it when you talk to them about the other thing.
Yeah, if it's on DOT's right, but they'd be concerned with site distance too.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
they
it's
might
dangerous
like
situation.
to take it out.
That would be part of it, but it wouldn't be the whole.
No, not the whole thing, but if you just got the right of way part, because there's a lot of very high brush and invasive species that in the summertime, it must be like a wall there, you know?
Right.
It's really, it's not safe.
Well, I'll just put remove soil pile, ask DOT. I mean, they won't do anything for you for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
but they may let you take it out.
Wouldn't it be all more on the guy's property who would put it there? You know what I'm saying? Like. We're not responsible for putting that dirt there.
No, but.
So now we're gonna be responsible for moving it out.
Well, because you want something, you know?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, if it's a concern with DOT and that it's, that guy put it there.
Who's that guy?
The guy who owns the property right next to Mr. Tom.
The neighbor.
Yeah.
The
Neighbor.
neighbor's put it there.
It was
Okay.
part of the, I think, it might have been associated with the post office construction or something.
It looks like it was pushed over from the post office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's, you know,
I
I don't think- I don't think-
Yeah, it
I don't
does
think
block the view there,
yeah,
obviously it
it's
does,
dangerous.
but I'm just,
If
Well,
you're
what-
asking the board to approve something, we know there's a potential hazard there.
It's just simpler that if you can remove it, just remove it, you know, I mean, ask DOT obviously before you remove it, but if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put it down, you know,
You just
along the
push it
side
over.
to back, you know, it's.
And I think that's a.
I don't know if I wanna get in directed and tell them what they need to do there.
Okay, I
Yeah,
take that
well,
back,
Yeah,
but you can move.
because
remove
that, cause
it.
yeah, all of a sudden, if they're, bounds are on somebody else's.
right, you go on somebody else's property.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry, I certainly didn't mean to
Right,
intimate
no,
that you should go
yes.
on somebody else's property, I did not mean that.
right, I'm
So
not
if
saying, you know, I'm
can-
just,
They went in the right of way, yeah.
right,
You cut that back to where the right of way is, right where that pole right.
Right,
You're gonna
yeah.
do that utility pole, that's gonna be on the edge of the right of way.
right,
And if you could clear that to the road, I think it would really, you'd be a lot safer. It's-
Yeah, you're not backing out you're backing out the property coming toward you, not from that side, right? It's the cars coming from that southwest side are on the other side of the road. So unless they.
Yeah, unless they're.
But, yeah,
They're headed west.
You want to end east out of there,
Yeah.
you're gonna back out over onto the far eastbound lane.
Can happen. If somebody wants to go
Yeah.
east, that's,
Yeah.
they gotta do.
Well, the other way you
Say
go
that
east
percent.
is you just go down and drive down the road by the post office.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's lots of ways to
Yeah,
do
I
that.
just-
It's not a road.
Talk, yeah, I know. Talk to DOT about it, okay?
And DOT will, again, it's in their vested interest, if there's an encroachment of soil on their right of way that's causing a potential safety issue, it's in their interest to remove that.
Yeah. Okay,
So you're gonna table it till the next meeting?
yeah, we'll table it, and, what we'd like to do is, when you come back with the responses, we'd like them on, right from the agency, from DOH on the well, DOT on that stuff, so, not say, have them be very specific so that the board can memorialize this in the fund. Okay, with that in mind, I think we're beating this to death here tonight. I'll make a motion to table the Samuelson special use permit application until our next meeting, which is
Sixty.
May 16th.
I will second,
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Board Member Novak,
yes.
Board Member Howe,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
Yes.
Okay. Get her done. Okay, next thing on our old business would be Robert Nice, Depot Road. Nice. 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 Here? There.
Yes, hello. I'm here representing, Eaton.
Okay.
I also, I think the first item on the agenda was for, the Putnam subdivision.
Yeah.
Could I drop these Mylars off
They
and then just service it off? Yep. I'm assuming that.
must have been optimistic.
Yeah, I'm assuming that.
That's why they look so
got-
happy.
All right.
All right, what do we got?
Yeah, so good evening. I'm Luigi Pleshy with ABD Engineers and Surveyors representing, Robert Neese here.
Yes.
So it's a 5-lot subdivision that we're proposing here on Depot Road for single family homes. Currently, it has 2 existing parcels. And we're looking to subdivide it to create 5 new single family homes. Each driveway would be off of Depot Road. There's a public sewer main that runs along the back of the properties. And we're putting in a grinder pump and connecting each house into the public sewer main. There were some comments from the board at the last meeting. I was not here, but the property owners were. And we provided some updated information. There is a small timber wetland up in this corner here. We're not proposing to disturb any wetlands. Most of the disturbance will be, for the driveway around the house. And just a simple force main, it's an 1.25 inch line that connects to the force main of the existing sewer. This lot in particular, I think it's lot 1. We'll have an easement over lot 2 in order to connect to the sewer main.
And Luigi, you talked to Delaware Engineering about that to make sure everything met the specs and requirements that the town has.
I haven't spoke to them yet, but I can and I will.
Yeah, that's
A
really
condition.
important.
I can certainly discuss that with them. We have the details. We're proposing the E1 grinder pump. With E1, if you're familiar with
Yeah.
those, they're pretty good. So I don't see an issue, but we'll certainly, if there's more detail that needs to be happening.
Talk to Bill Brown, because we want to make sure we have a record of everything that's
Bill.
yeah.
Okay, yep. What was his name, Bill?
Bill Brown at Delaware Engineering, he's at the 607 number, he's an owner.
Okay.
And did they say where they would put the wells on the site, on the
So
lots?
right now, we have the wells proposed along the front of the homes. And the grinder pumps at the rear of the homes. And again, the layout will be dictated by the actual footprint of the house. We just showed generic houses and driveways right now. We did prepare a basic SWIP. And if all 5 homes are constructed, we will be over the 1 acre, but less than 5. So this is prepared and provided to the board. But yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward. There's, you know, it meets all the zoning requirements. We're not asking for any variances. So if there's any other questions the board might have here, I'll be happy to answer them.
What's the water well situation on that road? I know that Dollar General had serious problems with finding water on the other side of the hill there, but
Oh, that I don't know.
yeah.
But you're talking about the wells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dollar General went down 750 feet.
yeah, that's the
802.
802
Wow.
feet.
Yeah, I know the neighbors, they live next door here,
Yeah.
and they have a well. They had, you know, experienced anything or
Yeah.
shared with me about, you know, the well situation here. I would assume that they're.
Yeah, it's just something to,
You know, I'll definitely pass it along.
pass it along,
Yeah.
because they got some.
Why don't you just ask them to provide the well logs for the niece's home?
Okay, yeah.
And that
that'd be
way,
great.
that'll kind of answer the
Yes,
question.
yeah.
The other thing too, I don't know if folks saw the county referral, but the county also kind of recommended that the town consider the applicant to demonstrate that each lot has adequate potable water. That's hard to do. I can't ask you to draw
Right.
5 wells, but I'm wondering,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, do we have a standard note on the plans?
On the subdivision
Yeah,
plans?
we might want to add maybe a special note that puts them on notice. I mean, I personally, if I was buying maybe a piece of property, of course, my first concern would be the well, but
Yeah.
other folks might not think that way.
That's what you live here.
That is typically the first thing a builder or a homeowner would do is, you know,
Before
drill the
you
well
build the
first,
house.
before you stick a foundation in the ground.
You know, we never thought that could possibly happen, and it did with
Yeah.
Dollar General,
Yeah.
which is not
Okay.
what you would expect.
800.
Chris, is there a standard note on our plans? I thought there's the standard note if
No.
you're next to agriculture and all
Right.
that,
Yeah.
but I thought there was,
One
You
for
know.
wells.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought there was one for wells, yeah. I mean, Luigi, you've done ours
One and
before.
put one on the flat, you know.
Yeah,
that
why don't you-
basically says something, they require to be a building permit, a level.
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
built. They're
Yeah.
recommended,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Required is a good idea, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if you get the well log from the previous property,
that'll
that would
help.
help a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was drilled when they had
Yes.
rains were in effect, they'll have the whole log.
He built that house probably.
It's not that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a newer place.
But I'm saying.
The church is right there, not too far away, as far as I know, we never had trouble with water. So,
Yeah, but maybe, and that's, the board might not belabor the issue, but maybe we can have a separate discussion about adding that note. Or note now, and maybe.
let's let Luigi come up with it and then we just.
Not a problem. It would be the first time.
Well,
You know, there's a house about down on Van Patten that's not far from here.
Yeah.
That just went up and he's got decent.
Good, good, yeah. and what-
Yeah, it
so
may not be any
good
issue.
local information is good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Across the.
We have to get on top of the hill.
Disaster, so.
Yeah.
Learning.
so this one went out for comment. Did we get any comment from anybody?
No.
No. Okay. And this one's unlisted, right, Elizabeth? The rest of this one historic too.
Well, it just is an archaeologically sensitive area, so I don't, yeah, it still can be an unlisted action. And I think I wasn't at the last meeting, but it appears that we did declare the planning board as lead agency and it went out for a coordinated review, so.
Yes.
We got nothing back.
You could do, it's a short form EAF, so you could go ahead with that and set the public hearing.
Okay.
Or, I mean, we're really supposed to do that first before we have the public hearing, so we should do it.
Okay. And I don't think there were, did folks have any other concerns? I didn't see anything in the minutes from the last meeting.
No,
This is
I think
with-
it was only when it was
Just the
just
basic.
tying in with the Delaware
Yeah,
on the sewer.
and that's just a question of design.
Yeah,
Just a question though about, depot. Whose is that? Is that a county?
No,
one?
county.
And did you go to sign off on the driveways?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
that
did?
came in.
Okay.
The owner of the property would have to apply for driveway access permits from the county prior to start of construction. At that time, the county engineering department will review, comment, and approve, deny any work within county rights.
Okay, but they looked at the proposed location of the driveways and,
Yep.
yeah, okay,
Subdivision based on the design.
Okay.
So they review the plans.
okay.
Yeah, so I think at this point we would table it, right? And set the public hearing for next meeting.
Well, did you wanna go ahead and do the short form EAF and make that?
We don't have anything written up. Do you want me to?
Well, we know you're gonna be the lead agency. We know it's an unlisted action, so I think we should just, at the next time, we can do it at the same evening, I guess, I would say.
We could, based on our review of the project and part one and the information provided thus far, I think we could make a preliminary general statement that we anticipate there'll be no significant adverse environmental impacts from the project.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay. So I will make that motion. I'll restate it. The town of Waynesburg Planning Board has reviewed the project in accordance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act. And based on part one of the project and review of the resources in the area, the town of Waynesburg Planning Board is making a preliminary secret determination, negative declaration for the Knies subdivision. In accordance with Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law. No significant adverse environmental impacts are anticipated from the project, so I will make that preliminary determination.
Second.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt. Board Member Houghton.
Yes.
So now we can schedule.
Yep, yeah.
So I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing for May 16th for the Knies subdivision.
Second.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt. Yes. Board Member Houghton.
Yes.
Here we go. When is that public? May 16th.
May
May
16th.
16th. All right, great. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Kruger Energy seeks a special use permit for 909 Alexander Road for a solar installation. And put out there.
Yeah, I'll just, Sonny Step with Kruger Energy, we're here, basically just to answer any questions. I'm here with landowner Charlie Rhodes, and Dominic Rico. Again, hoping that we get, some action tonight on our project.
We have comments from the Cole.
Yeah.
Yep.
He wanted to be here. We said just wait one more meeting, but I'll be seeing him tomorrow and see if he's satisfied with the responses that you guys provided him stuff in writing. And,
We haven't given him anything back in writing.
you didn't give anything in writing?
No, we just got this last.
Okay.
Friday. But I have talked to him.
Okay.
We went over the items and, we haven't really presented anything back to him, but
Okay,
one question that we had to clarify,
okay.
there really isn't anything on here that's we can't take care of,
Can't
and that
take care of.
we can't answer. We've already contacted our consultants on the reports, where we wanted a couple extra lots and some information. We talked about the stormwater and we basically went over everything and
Okay.
kind of on the same page with all that. My question would be is if the board had anything specific they wanted to know about how we're gonna respond. I mean, I could verbally respond to anything on here. If you wanted something specific or,
You might as well just put it in writing.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to just
I
clarify.
think it's important to, Doug's on retainer for the town and.
Yeah.
Just continue your dialogue with Doug, and we rely on his, his judgment and expertise to guide us. And, I think, one of the big problems is, Matt Hoffman's not here tonight, but he's our stormwater.
Yeah, I discussed
And that's a, you know, I don't want that to be
Area.
a deal, a little,
Well, I mean, real quick with the disturbed area,
yeah,
so what me and Matt were kind of going back and forth, but I wasn't understanding what he was saying. And I didn't really agree, because we were taking the area that is all this gravel road.
Yeah.
And turning it into, getting rid of the gravel road, basically.
yeah.
Well, after talking to Doug, he's saying, yeah, but if you go in and you remove that. And not just throw topsoil on top of it,
Yeah.
then it's considered disturbance, so that's where Matt was coming from. Because we're not, so we're just gonna leave it alone, we don't need to remove it, and our disturbance is only like a tenth of an acre. Of new pavement, or new to edge out the existing stuff, which I talked to Doug, we're gonna do a map, show exactly where it is and all that stuff, so,
Yeah.
So
You
that
don't show the existing driveway, and then you'll show whatever new work that you're doing, right?
yeah,
That's what you're saying.
yeah, because like the driveway coming in is pretty much almost exactly. It's almost wider than it should be, 20 feet. As you come down and it hits a little path down here, this here,
Yeah,
it kind of jogs a little bit, so we're not really hitting.
so that's really your new disturbance is down beyond.
Yeah, but it's just little edges, like 3 or 4 feet along here, a couple of feet along there. So once I added it all up, it was like 0.15 acres. So. That would be it, and there's no other, we're not doing anything, we're doing any grading, we're not doing anything else, so. We were trying to get rid of the stuff, but he said, just leave it, and then it's not disturbed. I said, okay, fine with us.
Yeah, as long as, that's like, I'm not, certainly not an expert, I'm on strong on Matt. Does that 24/7, he doesn't sleep.
Yeah, but that's,
He was concerned about, you know,
yep,
the historic, at the property, but I don't, you know, I mean, there was a lot of clearing probably done
yeah, and I
5
think,
years ago.
he's that, as it's sitting right today, that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So,
As long as, yeah, I won't rely on those.
Chris,
Yeah.
did the coordination go out yet on that, or were you waiting to hear from Doug if the EAF was okay, or?
Don't know if they sent the coordination out on that, if they updated it. I'm gonna say no, I don't think so. I think we're waiting on Josh.
they tell you they did.
I thought the board was sending it out last month.
No, remember, we needed to make sure that the EAF had all the information on it as part of the coordinated review, so we'll check, and if it didn't go out, we'll get it out.
And we have SHPO on that list.
Yes,
Yes.
we do, we do.
Okay. All right, so we, you know, we were waiting for Doug's review, got that, I guess next month. You know, continue to work with him, I'll communicate with Doug, board members will.
So we submit with our revisions and the updated plans and all that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's right.
We'll look at that. We'll get a coordinated review, we'll find out all interested agencies.
All right.
And then start the process, you know.
Yeah, because one of the things like we've been asked by people aren't here, you know, but like when will we think the public hearing, or we're getting close to that, I'm like, well, you only meet once a month.
Yeah.
So the next month, we possibly could schedule a public hearing for the following month.
That would be May for June,
For
that'll
June.
depend on how well you address all of Doug's comments.
Yeah.
That's really key.
Okay,
We
yeah,
need him to say everything's been satisfied, especially with the decommissioning plan and everything. We want to make sure we have all that together, so people can review it and, you know, see if they have any concerns.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah, all your financial commitments for the decommissioning and, you know, the financial assurances and things like that.
Bond.
you have one.
I'm not here to say that, but, you know, whatever instrument you.
Yeah.
Elect.
Yeah, we had all the consultants are working on a couple of the extras, additional stuff you want, and
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that, so.
So if you get all that, I mean, it's a lot of work, but you guys got the resources. for it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got Time.
Yeah.
Like I say,
All right.
probably. You know, we're gonna rely on Doug a lot, so if in May, you're here and he says, we're good to go, I'll have him here in May. And,
So you should have a couple, so we plan on getting on the 16th, I just gotta get stuff probably a couple of weeks before.
yeah,
We'll get and look
you gotta
at
get it done.
Yeah,
we need-
10 days before the
10 days,
Yeah.
right, yeah, I have it written down, which
Yeah.
is, I think the first Friday, that's like 2 weeks from this Friday.
Yeah.
I think what it is, we should.
Well, the quicker you do it, the more likely it is you can wrap up all the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause then he's gotta look at it and then get back to us, so, you know, he needs time. to-
I think we're good. I mean, like I said, there's not a lot, it's all the details and things like that he wanted, which we just didn't
Yeah, I
provide.
saw his letter, it looked like something.
Yeah, it was not.
You could answer that letter. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't,
yeah.
Deal killer.
The hardest part about doing answering a letter is answering, or to put it in writing, everything in writing, because it's like a.
It's easy to talk about.
And half of it's only no responses, he was just agreeing and saying that we met the requirements too, which was good too, so,
Okay,
okay.
all right,
So just so I understand, the town's not prepared tonight to declare the agency.
Well,
We already have.
We already have.
Okay.
We're intent. Nobody else is gonna. do
Okay.
it. We just gotta coordinate it, and the hiccup is that we wanted to hear from Doug that the EAF was okay. And you all have looked at the letter. Did you see anything in there that would? So why don't we do this? Why don't you give us as many copies of the EAF and the application as we need to send it out, and that way it'll be easier for Chris to get it out next week. Okay? Is that okay?
This is yes for stuff to do.
he's in a long.
Yes, that's fine.
He's in a long.
That's fine. I actually have to, there's one box that was checked yes to no, I just gotta change that and then we should be good.
Okay, great.
It should get you what you need.
Since we're here, any other questions you have, if you've looked through any of the materials that we've presented, we're happy to take some time. We're here tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think now,
we've talked about the property lines and reorienting some of the lots and stuff.
I think I have to say US Fish and Wildlife Service just listed another bat, the tricolor bat. So, I just wanna let you know, I don't know that it's relevant, particularly relevant to this, but we seem to have a lot of other bats around here, so. No turtles.
Short and rear.
All right, so I think.
All right.
You're good.
I'll say
Yeah.
all your bad, all
Thanks.
short your bad.
Depending on-
It's like a show.
Tricolor.
Sounds good.
I thought that
Thank
was.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she wants to go so-
Thank you.
So do they motion to the table?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to the table, so the river energy project roads.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good.
Oh, no, not this, that's not.
Yeah, no, I got it, but it's all right, thanks, you got it.
Just a motion at the table.
Oh, I'm sorry, we got the most way here.
Yeah.
I've been working.
Board member Novak?
Yes.
Board member Howard?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
I got one more.
Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Board member Walpole?
Yes.
Okay.
Chris, did you cover how many copies you need?
Yeah.
with them?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, just wanted to sort of-
All right, moving on to new business, South Busco, Wells Road.
About that
Want to do major subdivision?
Luigi guy.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's like a bad man.
Sorry.
Is part view off?
Parkview's off, yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I just.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Luigi Palashi again, Luigi Engineers and Surveyors representing South Bosco. I think you sort of remember this, we were in front of you for, what was it, 5 lot subdivision?
Yep.
Yep.
And we had 6 lots, the same lot that we're here for tonight, and he didn't want to remove that one barn because we needed a variance, and Teresa tried talking him into just getting the variance, and he goes, nope, I made my mind up tonight. Well, of course, he moves into that house, that lot, and he's living there and he's thinking of himself, and he's like, you know what, I think I do want to convert this. So he called me up and said, hey, I'm ready to do this subdivision, so we were proposing the subdivision that we originally had, but we understand that we have to amend the original subdivision, so we revised that subdivision map. Again, it's an existing structure, he's gonna convert that into a single family home. We would need a new driveway, a well, and a septic system. I think we talked about last time, the septic system would be a raised bed system. But yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. Again, we're meeting all the lot requirements. We're not asking for any variances. So we're here tonight, presenting this to see if there's any questions and move forward with the, amending the subdivision.
So for seeker, what do we do with our amendment?
I don't think we need to do anything. I think we can rely on the previous
Previous,
seeker. I think what we need to do, because we had somebody here who was, commenting, we need to have a public hearing. So if you guys want to schedule a public hearing for the next meeting, that's what I would do. We're just to be clear, we're not changing any of the other lots. We're just splitting one of the lots.
Correct.
So it's an amendment, but we're not reopening the rest of the subdivision. It's just that we can't, I mean, he did it himself.
Do you think we have any reason or need to go back to SHIP on it just because it was?
Because it's all, they reviewed the subdivision of the same parcel. It was
Yeah.
a larger parcel.
I think the
For the
SHPO
same
reviewed it
reasons.
was 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't.
We
And then
have a
we-
question.
the only-
Yeah,
Did you say he's turning that into a single family?
Yes.
residence? The barn,
the
the
barn.
big barn?
Yep.
Okay.
It's an interesting structure.
I've been in it.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, yeah, this will be awesome.
It will be, but
Does he understand how expensive it'll be to bring it up?
Probably to code, yeah, with the, I don't know.
Energy stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually building a structure inside the structure,
Yeah,
just to be clear. 'cause
just
you
the
can-
structural issues, that's gonna have to be looked at by a structural engineer.
sure.
Thank
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the floor is my biggest concern. That'd be my biggest concern.
Yeah.
You've seen it,
Yeah.
you know? It's a great building and I love the upstairs loft.
Yeah. No, it'll be.
Cross that bridge when we get to it, I
Yeah.
guess.
And if you know Sal, like he's very
Yeah.
hands-on,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? So, he's got this vision, but maybe cost will,
Well, we'll condition the amendment to the subdivision to say that he must come in with the structural engineer and an architect to do
that
this.
building permit.
Yeah, because we've had too many people do too many absolutely crazy things. And when you say he's hands-on, that's like, that's not a good thing to
No,
be.
You know, and the products he's.
I'll be completely honest, I looked at it because I wanted to turn that barn into a wedding venue until I found out how much it was gonna cost me to. So price did turn me away.
Right,
That's funny.
yeah. Yeah,
That was-
maybe it'll just become his lot.
That was like a couple years ago.
His hangout, man.
Artist
cave.
lot.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. Only in the summer months, right?
Teresa Luigi submitted a part 1 for the SEAF, and I just had a couple of questions, but we would need it.
We don't need it,
Okay, it was asked, so we provided it just in case.
yeah.
So I have no comments on it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for the South Fusco subdivision, major subdivision amendment. And the public hearing will be May 16th.
Like that. Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Howland,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt,
Yes.
Board Member Walker.
Yes. Okay.
All right, great.
Good to go here.
All right. I don't have the last one, so.
Gotta show up, man.
You can get rid of me. Thanks again. Have a good night.
Well, we got 2 left.
All right, John James, Jennifer Road. Lots of tea left.
We get, I get there needs to be.
John, you've been here so many times, I think you should be sit up here.
On this lot. I just want to bring it up. Her driveway, pull into that hill for the last 20 years, Albany County, Schenectady County. Trucks all turn around right in that driveway. There is no culvert. It's right on the hill where
This side goes this way, this side goes this way. There's no culvert, you couldn't even put one in there. So I don't want you to be looking for one, because I don't do this. Okay. Well, this is. Right on the top of the Chadwick Road. Everything is there, it's all marked up right, I'm glad to check that. Is there any questions?
No, I think we just need to set the public hearing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's a type 2 action, right, Melissa?
Yeah, it's just a minor subdivision, I think, based on my review of the meeting minutes, I think just given the recent activity, I believe that's why we decided to progress it as a minor subdivision.
Yeah, yeah.
Typically, I think we would classify it as an unlisted.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine too. I don't think there's any other involved or interested agencies.
But we don't have part one of the SBA acts.
Oh, okay. Is there no there was no short form environmental assessment form?
I didn't see.
It's under the acreage,
No, I think,
disturbed.
oh, no, that's.
That's what.
That's what.
Oh,
We're not asking for that. No worries. I have one if you want me to pull it in.
Yeah, I don't think
There is.
there is a lot.
No, I had talked to Chris about it initially and he said to hold off at that time.
Oh, okay. If you
Oh,
could, if you
but we
could
can do that.
submit one,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
again, I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember what I did yesterday. When they remind me, I remember.
Yeah,
I
no,
did the same
no,
thing.
we can do that. Do you wanna, I mean, make a preliminary finding or, I mean, we have, let's just see.
Yeah, do we have?
I have a form, we could fill it out together if you wanted
I don't know
to.
if we have the map. I don't know if they're archaeological.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
I might have-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't anticipate, I don't know, and I don't have a copy of what was previously submitted.
Oh, the
For the
previous
previous
sub,
subdivision.
but that was a different,
No,
yeah, that
That
was.
was-
that was
other
different.
end of the road.
Yeah.
So I
that
think,
was-
yeah, I think we just need we're gonna need part one,
Okay.
so I don't know if you wanna go ahead.
Does that thing actually work here?
What's that?
Your computer?
Yeah.
Can you, let's see what. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, I try to use my phone here and the block like
Oh, I know.
blocks it, so,
And plus trying to fill that out on your phone.
yeah. I just feel bad because we should have told them last time to do it.
I don't, and again, I'm just trying to be consistent.
Yeah, we
I
should
don't
do a
think-
preliminary. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Couldn't be an issue. Just-
Oh, on the
Oh,
DC
yeah.
website,
Oh.
NYSDC, SEA, and you get there and you say SEAF and it pops up. Yeah, you can sit down, sir. You don't need to stand.
Depends on what comes up on the SEA.
If you can get it up, then we can.
Yeah,
we
we
can do
would
it.
we look at it, maybe, yeah. Now, there could be the bats, it's something we could address.
What's it for the,
Short,
Yeah.
yeah.
Trashy.
Yeah. I got this, yeah.
Oh,
she could sign.
Gotcha.
But yes, I could, but
We just direct them to the site.
Right, or know exactly where it is, don't you?
no, this is they just redid our site. It should be a.
Yeah, they really made it horrible.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Horrible. Yeah, I can't either.
Yeah, the only thing I think is probably bats, possibly bats.
That will definitely come up, yeah, that will come up.
Sensitive area. Why not?
I don't think it'll be archaeologically sensitive. but it's
This is
also-
the results.
You can send it to Chris and. Right, it's a great thing. See, this is the way it's supposed to be used, so you can do it while you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's, it's a great thing. If you have a,
Good connection.
You got wildfires.
You haven't seen the revised,
It's hard,
oh, it's wonderful.
oh, they revised.
like.
See, I retire, right?
Did you retire? Congratulations. I won't be able to say, and Liz Novak's on our board and she's head of the department. Right. I'll have to say, she's retired.
You can still say that. It's
I
fine,
can.
get you.
Many years.
Yeah,
We're getting close.
we're getting closer.
That's
It was short.
that like 2 days before.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your device is stuck, there's a lot.
Oh, as soon as I had the phone plugged in earlier.
Yeah, so if you hear. Environmental.
Where Michael never brings the computer down.
Yeah.
So. There's the part one. And then you don't have to do it.
Okay.
So I don't get myself in trouble.
That was fine.
Well, just shout out the question, so we'll all find it, sorry, last year.
Sit down and complete the. Okay, the problem. Tina part one.
It's, yep,
Alright. You know, action or project, project location.
residential subdivision located on, what road are we on?
Chadwick.
Chadwick.
Should give you like.
Formed,
Yeah, and then you can put all that in. It's gonna be executed.
I'll download
Yeah.
this one here, right?
Yeah, you gotta do part one first and then. it'll-
Part two.
But yeah, we all did that, I was.
Alright, here we go, now we're going, yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
alright,
After,
alright, name of action or project.
Minor
Yeah, I
subdivision,
agree. Should have.
by Jameson.
Hey,
James,
John James.
sorry, by John James.
You're right, overseas, so you can count.
switch seats.
Yeah,
Let's see.
alright, project location,
Chadwick. Is there a number there? for
Not
Chadwick
until the
Road?
subdivision's done.
Give us the number.
Okay, do you have a tax map ID?
That's, we have to get the subdivision done and then we have to request it from them.
But the parent parcel has. it.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's on the application.
description of proposed action, minor subdivision. Is that
Yep.
what it-
Minor two lot subdivision.
Is this the map?
No, that's just the form, the
Oh.
map or probably a link on it.
You gotta fill out the form to, and then it'll generate the mapper.
Well, it has to be downloaded the PDF to fill it out, so I don't know if it's linked in the.
It will,
Oh, well.
it will, yeah.
Alright, name of applicant or sponsor, John James. Address.
What's your address, Chuck?
Do we need-
Where he lives now, where he is,
Yeah.
43 Willow Lane.
Are you in Delancey or Dwaynesburg?
Delancey. Okay.
Still in.
That's 12053.
Yeah. Does the proposed action will involve the legislative adoption of a plan?
No.
Does proposed action require permit approval or funding from any other government agency?
Any other government agency? No.
Total acreage of the site of proposed action,
4.75 acres.
total acreage to be physically disturbed. That's on that.
I
I
think
saw, I
the
saw
total
that.
acreage is actually
on the plan.
5.6, I believe.
Oh, you think you got a subdivision that's 5.6?
I believe that's
Yeah,
all.
that's
on
okay.
that.
So,
It,
There's certain signals on the drawing.
Comments, where they, I don't want to.
No, it's just a full parcel.
Was, disturbance 0.7. Total acreage, park site, contiguous properties owned or controlled by the applicant or project sponsor.
What's the parent parcel?
118.5 acres.
There we go.
What's the,
Check all land uses that occur on or adjoining or near the proposed action, urban, rural,
And residential
residential.
and agriculture probably.
I think I'm gonna read it. Alright, is proposed action a permitted use under the zoning regulations?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Consistent with the down, yeah. Is the proposed action consistent with predominant character?
yes. And there's no critical environmental area in town.
Yeah. Eight, is proposed action result in substantial increase in
Nope.
traffic, no. Public transportation services,
No.
pedestrian accommodations, no. Does that action meet or exceed the energy
It
standard?
has to be yes.
Oh, yes.
It will because the building itself that they're building.
We
will
have
have
that.
to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Will the proposed action connect to an existing public or private water supply?
no,
Oh, I didn't know she would.
Will the proposed action connect to existing wastewater facilities? No.
we could just say septic and potable water well on the one up above. Just to explain it. It's kind of a weird question.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yes.
Is misleading.
Oh, this one up here on 10.
Now, 12 should generate itself.
It didn't because we're not using the mapper yet. So that's why I'm not sure this is gonna.
Yeah, it's just, the link brought me to a PDF to download.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Oh, why didn't it take us to the mapper?
I don't know.
It will open up a new tab.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one we can't answer.
Yeah, right, I was at 12 projects site contained or substantially contiguous.
Yeah, that would pop up in the mapper, we just next to that.
We'll have to look at the mapper
Okay.
first. Okay,
Alright, 13, does any portion of the site of the action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands?
Have to wait for the mapper.
Yeah.
same way with,
14, identify typical habitat.
it's agricultural grasslands, I think.
Glad you have that tree six, I can't read the screen, so.
Well, it says, it's not.
That help?
Oh,
Is-
yes.
Is any of it treed or is it
no,
all?
it's all open.
It's all
That
open.
acre.
So side of the proposed action.
We feel-
It's not.
No, it's definitely no.
Yeah.
Will the proposed action create stormwater discharge?
No.
Does the proposed action with construction or any other activities result in impoundment of water or
No.
no? Has it,
No, she's in Central Ocean.
no solid waste facility, no? No remediation, but we gotta check the mapper, if we kick up anything there, but I'm sure if there was, we would have seen it before.
So you have it filled out by hand.
I do.
Okay.
That's just in case it disappears when he does it. Cause that happened to me before.
With your changes.
Of course, Mike's smarter, so he won't let that happen. All right, you guys, pay attention.
Mike's got it under control.
It's going to Chris.
Too many cooks.
Yeah, that can go to
Yeah.
Chris and then we just gotta bring up the mapper for them.
Yeah, no, we can check.
The Chris, is it full, your full name for your email?
C Parslow.
See Parzon.
At Waynesburg.net.
Yeah, I'm doing different emails first.
Don't forget the S. Jeff
Yeah,
Schmidt.
yeah,
Jeff Schmidt forgets the S every time.
yeah.
Farlow.
I know.
I see your sheet. Deny.
All right, look, it's like, oh, got the S.
5 times, yes. Finally, I figured that out.
Google may be better.
Yeah.
New York State, you see.
Resource mapper.
Right up.
There you go.
All
Oh.
right,
there you go.
Oh, that's what Josh is talking about. Oh, here.
There we go. Environmental resource mapper.
Wait, what am I,
We are trying to let people.
Thank you very much, because I would have been.
But don't like this way, what am I doing?
It's a little bit like watching paint dry, yeah.
Can I ask a question while we're doing this?
Sure.
Is Joanne Crum is not here, does that mean nothing's gonna happen with?
What,
I mean, I think you guys, yeah, I don't think,
she's not on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
no, right.
Right, Pine Drive.
Oh, okay.
Since she's not here, nothing's gonna happen, right?
If she was presenting, yeah.
Which one?
And
Pick the
nobody's
dice.
here to.
I'm just enjoying the planning board.
It was flowing.
For my help.
So there's also.
But our apologies, yeah, if.
She was, I mean, she was on,
If she's-
it was on the
It was on the
agenda, but
agenda, but if she's not here to present, then there's nobody.
Well, the next time I'll call her first.
Well, we appreciate you attending the meeting.
I'm getting a feeling for it, that's for sure. Okay, I'm home.
we should.
Thank you.
She doesn't even.
Do you, can you present?
Yeah, I mean,
No, I have nothing.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
cause if you represent the, you know.
No, she's representing the buyer. And the buyer, one of the contingencies is that the subdivision is okay.
Okay.
I'll call her tomorrow.
Okay.
And they're gonna pop up on this?
She didn't tell me she wasn't coming, so I
I
just.
don't know what
I
happens.
just assumed.
She's a pretty dependable person.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping everything.
I know one of the things.
Oh, right, that's what I wanna see that.
Last time was, would she have everything done, be done by the next meeting?
Yeah, there's.
She didn't tell me yes or no either way, so that's why she's on the agenda, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Location,
So,
address.
yeah, I would definitely call it.
Address.
No.
Maybe she forgot.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
No, I doubt it.
Thank you.
All right, have a nice evening.
Is there space for tax map parcel number or anything?
Police name, county or zip code? Address or municipal? Since there's no address.
Well,
You could put in
is
the
there,
larger parcel address.
and what's the larger parcel address? Is there a house nearby there?
I tried to use, I said to them, 282 is what piece is sold. And can I make it 284? Nothing else.
Okay, try to,
282 Chadwick Road. That's
822.
822.
Yeah, 822, right.
282 is our
282
office.
is the office.
well, this is theoretically how it's supposed to work.
Loading.
It's 250 feet north of the county line.
You could turn layers on it, though.
Yeah.
Barely.
I thought she was with Greg Harkenrider. That's because they were sitting there. I would never
Yeah,
have
turn
thought
all
to ask.
flyers and then it'll pop up.
Wasn't that her son? Wasn't it Jimmy's son that was here?
No, that wasn't Carl.
So we've got no.
I don't know.
Now here, we'll figure out.
I saw Carl this morning, he said he was gonna show
Like some things all fine, that's probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Rare plants for animals. So we're back probably the bat.
is that the bat? That's
Probably is,
That's what they turned out.
yeah, because it won't tell you because they don't.
This is a short EAF, right?
yeah, it is. Yeah.
This is why I
I
asked.
think it's
for
one
the
layer,
correct
I turned that off. But, you know,
I'm sure it was really long.
those for the-
It's only like 2 pages longer, I think, though. When I
Yeah,
looked.
it's like.
My write-up has to be
Yeah,
long.
13.
My write-up's gotta be a lot longer.
There's that.
I gotta see
Part 2 and 3 are.
Thanks for that digest
Look back.
repair in 20 years.
You get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
We have 5 houses
If it didn't, it
having
doesn't, you know.
getting the digester. Does town pay for it?
What, the grinder saw?
Yeah. He called it a digester.
The grinder pumps.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
No, the town doesn't pay for
Who knows? Once he sells those lots, he'll sell 5 lots. Who pays for it?
Oh, it's the next person, there we
them.
go.
The homeowner.
Oh, okay.
pays for it, or,
So it'll be divided 5 ways.
Yeah. I mean, those gotta go.
What's the look there?
I didn't see it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think the town was, I don't know if the town. I don't know a whole lot about the sewers.
Does the town have a guy that's in charge of the sewer?
No,
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
understood
We have sewer guys.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one guy that's in charge and then.
And we didn't, did we
one
see any
was
wetlands or the water
one guy
bodies or
pouring,
anything?
No.
No,
like,
okay.
that means.
All right.
Very.
Probably gonna be dumped on them.
No,
Yeah, I mean, it'll go
So
to, it'll
Mary,
go
you
to
wanna
Phil
come up
Brown.
and sign this?
Sure.
As the council?
You filled out the application.
All right.
Yeah.
So. Here we go.
Just for that.
Go through it all.
We're about getting sworn in and.
Exactly.
For, yeah.
Every year I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I got like, yeah.
Here, you should take it back to your daughter and you guys read it together. Just make sure you're okay with everything. We might as well. Because he's signing, as the applicant, which is
Yeah.
weird, because we just did it. but, You know, do you want to go ahead and let's do part 2 so we can cover that? I'll read it. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use
No.
plan or zoning rule? Will the proposed action result in a change of use or intensity of use? No. No. Will it impact the character or quality of the existing community? No. There's no critical environmental area.
No.
Will the action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure? Which we have none. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy? No. Will the proposed action impact public or private water supplies? No. Public or private wastewater treatment utilities? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, wetlands, water body, groundwater, air quality, flora and fauna? Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
Okay, so that's part 2.
Okay.
So Elizabeth, over to you for part 3.
Okay.
There,
So I'll make the.
spell that out. Oh. Oh, no, it's not a good year.
All right.
Today's the way you do that again.
I have horrible handwriting, so what I'll do is I'll send an email to Chris tomorrow, but I'll basically state it, do what I did previously.
Sure, if you wanna say it, I'll write it out. It's up to you and take it back. Okay.
Just so Chris can read it then.
Oh, he can read it. Okay.
So she goes back every time.
Yes. Just kind of get everything ready for that next
So
meeting.
here's what it says. For every question in part 2 that was answered, moderate to large impact may occur. Or if there's a need to explain anything, then you're supposed to write it down. So the only issue here is the bat. So,
Okay. So I'll make.
So there's no trees.
It's wide open.
yeah,
So I'll make a motion to make a preliminary secret determination for the James Minor subdivision on Shadwick Road. The town of Dwaynesburg, Planning Board has reviewed the James subdivision on Shadwick Road in accordance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act, including completion of parts 1, 2, and 3 of a short environmental assessment form. Based on a review of the project and use of the New York State DEC resource mapper, the only item of potential concern is the presence of the northern monitor bat. To mitigate and avoid any potential impacts to the species, tree cutting will be restricted to April 1st to October 31st.
Say that again, April.
1st to October 31st, because it's, well, we're restricting tree cutting to that time frame.
Right.
April first, you can't cut through April first through
Tree
October.
cutting will be avoided.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
it's
restricted, not to, but restricted during,
during, thank you,
because you can go November through end of March.
November 1st through.
Yeah.
March.
Yeah, you can cut. So
October.
So it's either restricted to November.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Thank you, so do this.
Okay, we got it.
Okay, you got that, Susan?
Yep, I got it.
The back calls the same yesterday.
So,
These reasons, it is anticipated the project will have no significant adverse environmental impacts in accordance with Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law.
Okay,
And the town of Dwaynesburg Planning Board issues a preliminary negative declaration for the James subdivision. Minor subdivision.
got it. Very good. And ready?
So I will make that motion.
a second,
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole,
yes.
Chairman Schmidt,
Yes.
Board Member Howland.
Yes.
What's the date today, guys?
18.
So now you can make motion to set the public hearing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I did it.
Which.
Quiet tonight.
I can make a motion to set the public hearing for May 16th of the James subdivision.
A second,
Board Member Howland,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
yes.
Chairman Schmidt,
Yes.
Board Member Novak.
Yes.
So you guys are all set then. Come next time and hopefully that'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa.
You have usually to put your hand cock on that.
Okay.
Mary.
Yeah.
Herbie.
So this is everything.
1, 2, and 4.
And we figured out we can approve any minutes. We don't have enough people. So,
Someday. It's approved.
We might be able to do February, no?
oh, you can do
I
February?
think we were all here.
We're all here
Yeah.
in February,
We
I'm
can't-
sorry.
We can't do it in March, but February.
Yeah, that was in February.
Yeah.
Leasing. Well, which is Verizon,
Right,
and I'm going to, I mean, I haven't signed the contract yet, I think it's next week probably,
okay.
and who goes through the planning board? They said that they do, so I said, I looked through the planning, they said, oh, no, we take care of that.
What are you leasing them for? Cell tower?
Yeah.
You want them? They
They
should
do.
do it, they do it,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah, not you.
I just wanted to.
Make sure they know we have a zoning code.
Yes.
And a special law that applies to telecom
Yeah.
structures, so.
He said, oh, somebody I didn't want to ignore it where it's not, so just check your rooms here for it's finished.
Yeah, you're definitely not gonna be the one that, yeah, because they're gonna have,
Yeah, they said they did, but they told me things that was right on.
Yeah, they had to come in, they have to give us a lot of technical information about
Yeah.
why they need a tower, why they can't co-locate on another tower, because we got quite a few towers in town. Was it on,
There's another one over on the other side.
is it near your Chadwick Road property? Is it? Okay, I read. Your daughter's so, granddaughter's okay with that.
It's a also.
Over the end of the woods.
Okay, well, glad, it would, yeah. Yeah, it's really not related to this subdivision, but
yeah,
I'm sure they won't be in for a while yet, if they haven't signed the lease yet, so.
I'll say you're there all the time.
Doing studies and stuff, yeah, it'll take them a while to.
They have to get all the information. to fill out the form.
Right,
Yeah.
Chris, have you
Yeah.
heard from Verizon yet about this tower? No, okay.
No.
And they're not doing it for the county or anything, it's.
When,
It's
how
private.
long ago was this?
What's that?
How long ago did this conversation start?
Oh. Last October,
Maybe I did then, because somebody did call about,
yes.
they did call it, they just inquired about zoning ordinance stuff.
Oh, okay,
So I pointed them to the zoning ordinance.
Taxes were.
I pointed into the local, there's a local law, so I pointed into the local law.
perfect, perfect.
Maybe they're getting it ready, I don't know. Well, other than that,
Good. Good, good.
I know that we're good and we take care of it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
All right.
Have a good night.
Have a
Thank
great
you. Thanks, you too. That's gonna be,
No, yeah.
that's gonna be interesting. Oh, well.
I think we just have
Well.
February board meetings we can approve.
Yeah, February board minutes, and
Meeting minutes, yeah.
any, any comments? No.
No, second, yeah.
Motion to approve the February. where's the date?
15.
February 15th, town of Williamsburg planning board minutes.
I'll second,
Kevin Schmidt,
Yes.
board member Novak,
yes.
board member Howland,
Yes.
board member Walpole.
Yes.
Do we have to table the March minutes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a quorum for those.
I mean, do you have to vote on that or no?
I wasn't at the mark.
No, you don't have to vote on it, it just cannot get on it.
All right, then the motion to adjourn. Make that.
I'll second,
Kevin Schmidt?
Yeah.
Board member Novak,
yes.
board member Howland,
Yes.
board member Walpole.
Yes.
I was.
I pulled the street views and everything while we're sitting here, like,
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's like when I start talking about all this, I just, I
Yeah,
can